Good morning. It's June 28th, day 45. We've got a pretty big climb this morning. It's 6,600 feet over 12 miles. We're climbing out of this valley, canyon, whatever that Belden is in. The good news is, at least there's water all the way up, so we don't have to carry water up the hill like we had to carry down yesterday. That was kind of a pain on my knees, but we won't have to deal with that today. Once we get to the top though, I think water becomes more scarce. Nothing more than a 10-mile carry, I don't think. So it won't be too bad. I've actually only got 1 liter of water capacity now anyways, so it kind of relieves me of the choice of how much water to bring for these water carries, because I can only bring 1 liter. Just got to make it work. Last night was really warm too. For most of the night I slept just in my bivvy without my sleeping bag on top of me at all, not even on my feet or anything. I think I woke up around midnight or 1 o'clock and covered myself up. That got me thinking I've got to keep an eye out for how warm these nights are, because I've got a 50-degree quilt, synthetic quilt, compared to my 20-degree synthetic quilt now, that I would love to take along if it ever becomes appropriate to have that instead of the 20. I did that on the Appalachian Trail starting at Harper's Ferry, I think, and it just lightens the bag so much. I think it weighs about a pound, maybe an ounce or two more than a pound less than my 20-degree quilt. So it's really noticeable. And on top of the weight, the bulk is so much less with the 50-degree bag. And I would just love to see how that carries with the rest of my PCT gear, because I've never actually tried it on any of the training hikes. I didn't have the 50-degree quilt with me. So last night was the first night where I didn't use my bag at all. I'm sure there have been many nights before that where a 50-degree bag would have been fine, but I'm going to keep a closer eye on that and see if it's actually reasonable to get that thing out here or not. I guess we're not out of snake territory yet. You see him right here. There's his head over there. He's a cool looking guy. Alright, I think that was probably the top, because we're starting to go down now. I was hoping we would get a little bit of a better view, but it's still kind of blocked in by the trees. I think I saw, no, that's not it. I think I saw Mount Shasta out in the distance. If I get another view of it, I'll show you. Right there is the tip of what I think is Mount Shasta, but it might be Mount Lassen. I don't really know. I just heard that apparently Mount Shasta comes into view pretty early, and then you spend forever looking at it as you get closer, and then as it goes away, it's apparently it gets to be a pretty dull sight after a while, but I don't know. Kind of doubt it. I like looking at mountains. This is today's 11 o'clock view. So I just grabbed a liter of water from the last on-trail water source for 22.5 miles. There's other water in between, but yeah, it's like one of them's 0.3, actually two are 0.3 off trail, and down a really steep trail. The other one's a half-mile off trail. And I hate going off trail for water, so I'm going to try not to. I'm going to see if I can make a leader last 22.5 miles, which is pretty much the rest of the day. Once I get to that source, if I get to that source today, it would be 40.6 miles. So pretty much going to try and hike the rest of the day. It's a couple minutes before noon now on 1 liter of water. It's relatively cool now, and we don't have any major climbs. So maybe I can, but yeah, if I have to go off trail, it is what it is, but I just prefer not doing it if I don't have to. This water carrier is actually looking like it's going to be no issue at all. I'm halfway now, or a little more actually. I've got 10.9 miles till the water source that crosses the trail. And I've got like 0.8 liters left. And maybe I'm just fooling myself, but I don't feel like I'm thirsty. My mouth isn't dry or anything, and I think the key is I just haven't really been sweating much. It's been still pretty cool. We are climbing up like a 1,200 foot climb now, so I expect to go through more water on this climb than I have been. But yeah, I mean, realistically, it's not actually a 22.5 mile water carry, because I know I can go at least 5 miles without even really thinking about water. So cut 5 miles off that, I can finish my water 17.5 miles into the carry. So now that I've got, what, 11 miles left and 0.8, cut 5 miles off that. So I've got 6 miles and I can finish off 0.8 liters. That's plenty of water, right? Just made it to the top of that climb. Still got a half liter left and 6.5 miles to go to that water source. I think we're in the clear now. Check it out, we're halfway. It's a couple miles off, but it doesn't matter. Halfway's right up there. We got a marker here. Cool little milestone. Literally a milestone. It's a little past 8:30 and there's all this great camping land around. But I'm going to keep going because I noticed last night it was light till like 9, and the road for Chester is a little less than a mile ahead. So I'm going to go there and a little bit further, and it looks like it's going to be more of the same, like more of this type of terrain afterwards. So hopefully I'll find a equally good spot out there. Otherwise it would be pretty upsetting to be passing this by to end up with a crappy spot. Here's the road, and it looks like great camping on the other side too, so I don't regret this at all.